We're here in Washington, D.C. at the International Spy Museum. It's a one-of-a-kind museum devoted entirely to the history of espionage, all the way from Greek and Roman times through World War II, the Cold War, and now the war on terrorism. You can find out all the secrets here. What does it really mean to be a spy?
Well, think of spying primarily as collecting intelligence. As collecting intelligence to give the policymakers, the president and his advisors, a view of what's going on in the world. Because often what's going on in the world isn't what it looks like is going on. And also it maybe gives a sense of what might be coming down the track. Particularly, intelligence is devoted to looking for threats or assessing threats to our national security.
You were a spy, were you not?
Yes, yeah.
You were with the CIA for how long?
I was with CIA for 35 years, primarily in Europe and the Middle East. And I was primarily an intelligence collector, though I was also involved in what is called covert action, where you are trying to influence events one way or the other.
Can you tell us anything about your time? Are you free to talk about any of your experiences or
Well,
your cases?
My time was the Cold War. So a lot of the effort that I was engaged in was trying to recruit sources, find sources among the Soviet, the Union's representatives abroad, as well as those of East Europe, the people who were part of the Warsaw Pact, part of what was associated with the Soviet Union.
It can be pretty dangerous, can't it?
There can be times of hazard, all right? Everybody compares it to James Bond. In reality, cases are drawn out usually for a much longer period, but there can be, just like in Bond, there may be screeching tires and shots in the night. It just doesn't all happen within that time frame. What we like to say in intelligence work is, in looking for people, in recruiting people, we're looking for risk takers, not thrill seekers. And I think that's the difference, that there are people who are willing to take a risk and perhaps put themselves in the line of danger, but they're not just looking for it. They're not out looking to have, get kicks out of doing the work.
The CIA has been in the news a lot lately.
Yes.
With what has happened with General Petraeus. Do you have any thoughts about that, what it means for him perhaps, or for the agency?
The problem is, it's not a moral issue. The problem is, if you have someone who is head of the spy agency, or even a member of the spy agency, and they're engaged in something which they would not want exposed. It would be acutely embarrassing. It might place the organization in a bad light. That places them in a vulnerable position. And by that, I don't mean, they're going to give away all the secrets. It just opens them to pressure and influence that would exist solely because of the activity they're involved in. That's why I think to be in that job, head of the CIA, is a very sensitive job.
What makes a good spy, in your view?
I think a good spy has a lot of the qualities that you do, and that is curiosity, an intense curiosity about the world, how it works, why people do what they do. And I think that many times people who are interested in going into intelligence, or who are approached by intelligence, realize that that is a profession that will enable them to sort of satisfy that itch to learn about things, find out what's going on. Think of your best investigative reporters. Think of their nature, what drives them. I think in some cases spies are doing the same thing. They're doing it for national security. They're doing it specifically for the government. But I think some of those qualities that you find, as well as the ability to communicate, whether it's writing or speaking, you'll find in a good spy.
So that could be my second act, maybe? You think I could?
There are always second acts in America, and you and I both may be looking at them.